Hello everybody. Before we get started today, I'd like to announce to you guys that we are no longer affiliated with Woobin. So you won't see the link in our description anymore. If you were thinking about buying one of their lights, they have fantastic lights, but we discontinued our affiliation with them because of communication problems. They every giveaway we've had with other companies, usually the winner has their prize within a week. Sometimes even sooner. But with Woobin, they wouldn't answer our emails, they wouldn't acknowledge us, and it took almost 2 months to get the winner his light. So with that being said, because of communication problems with their personnel and their lollygagging, I'm going to say, on getting the winner his prize, we are discontinuing our affiliation with Woobin. Great light, but our TBO discount will no longer work. So just letting you guys know. Good morning, everybody. I'm Rick. This is Two Brothers Outdoors. As you can see, our snow situation is getting a little better. This is March 21st, first day of spring. Still got quite a bit of snow in the woods, but we can get up through here with the four-wheelers now. And we should be able to start drawing logs out here pretty quick. We got some nice ambrosia maple right over here. And like I said, the snow situation is improving very quickly. Kind of stupid this morning. I set you guys up on the bridge and I'm getting the camera ready, putting the mics and stuff on. All I had to do is drop something and it's gone down the stream. I'll show you where you're set up at. Today we got a few things to do. Sharpening stakes is one of them. The stake business has surprised us. It's taken off pretty good. So this is what you guys are set up over. And all I have to do is drop my camera or drop the microphone, and the bridge itself doesn't do much to stop something from falling through. All right, guys, let us head up to the sawmill and get started for some of today's activities. All right, so one of the things we got to do is we got to take all these stakes we have here and here, and we have to cut them into 6 and 4 footers. These are 10 foot 6 inches long, so it gives us a couple inches to play with. But what I have to do is I have to set the stakes up so that we can get, like, see this one with a knot? I can get a good 6 foot out of that and nothing out of the other end as far as a 4 footer goes. Some of them are clear and we'll be able to get 4 and a 6 out of. But we got to get the stake rack filled back up. We've been getting hit hard on these stakes. Unbelievable, but I'll take it. One thing I'm going to have to deal with today, and I've been kind of putting it off, we have all these offcuts. We have a guy that comes and buys the firewood pieces, and we cut these up into 18, 20-inch lengths on this rack. And we have a guy that comes and picks them up, pays us for them. Unfortunately, the last load we cut up, we got snow before he was able to come, and snow and snow and snow, and you know the story. You've been with us all winter. So I got to cut this up, and then I got to cut up this mess right here. And oh boy, this is going to be tough because right now it's sitting on about 3 foot of snow underneath it. And I'm afraid once I start cutting it, it's going to want to fall over. But it's going to have to be dealt with. I got no other choice. And evidently there's something here that deer like. I got a deer track right here facing that direction. So there must have been something in here you wanted to sniff or nibble on. All right, I guess the first thing I should do is probably get this cut up and get this out of the way. I am not looking forward to this, but it's got to be done. Sawing the wood up in this rack isn't too bad. It only takes a few minutes. And it's not bad except for the fact that the rack got full this winter. We ended up throwing the offcuts over here. This is going to be tough. And the unfortunate part is Tim's got the same situation over at his mill. All right, we're going to get the rack cut up first, and then we'll start working on this. Gotta take a little break. That's hard work. When the stuff is stacked straight, back and forth this way, it's pretty easy to cut. But when you got a stack that looks like that, which they're going every which direction, that's going to be tough to cut right there. I try to keep them straight when you throw them on the pile, but sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. All right, I got the rack done. That's all sawn up off the rack anyway. Ended up with quite a pile here. As soon as all this mud dries up, we'll get the firewood guy a call and he'll come pick it all up. We have had a heck of a winter. I got something going on here, and right now, just right here, just stepping, my foot wants to sink in. See right there? Got all these holes showing up. I've been filling them in with sawdust. I don't know what the heck's going on, but it starts up there and the ground's just sinking all over the place here. Never had that happen before. Hopefully it'll straighten out when it all thaws out. The frost went down 3 feet this year, so we had a pretty deep frost. Well, guys, trying to cut this pile up the way it sits. It ain't working very well. These small pieces like this, the chainsaw hits them and they're hitting me in the chest. Some of them aren't too awful small. I think the best approach to this is take this pile, stack it up in the rack as much as I hate to, and cut it in the rack. That's double the work. But I guess it is what it is. That's why I didn't want to deal with this pile. Well, let's stack it up in the rack. Maybe that'll help. All right, guys. Stack this rack full, cut it up, threw it off to the side, and it's full again. That was a lot of wood. So I think I'm going to deal with the stakes. Maybe I'll cut this up later. I'm kind of whooped right now when it comes to dealing with this firewood. So I pulled the 2 offcuts from the locust that we cut up for the cannon restoration. We got a guy that wants those, so I pulled them off to the side. I'll see if I can contact him and have him come get them. If he's not interested, that'll be cut up into firewood as well. That's a lot of firewood, guys. A whole winter's worth. But got it under control now, I think. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stack these stakes in a way where I can cut them 6 foot and then it'll be 4 foot left. Some of these stakes have got knots in them, and you can't have knots in the stakes because they'll break, or at least a knot that, you know, going to cause it to break. So I get these stakes lined up the way they need to be, cut them, and then we'll break out the sharpener, sharpen them all, throw them on the trailer, and take them up and stack them in the rack. This stake idea is really flowing. It's really doing good. And I never knew there was such a big demand for these stakes, but evidently there is. I'm checking these stakes out. You see this one right here has bark or wane. So we have found that the best seller is 6-footers. So that means we have plenty of 4-footers, but we're short on 6s. So not to waste any of this, we cut our logs 10-foot 6, but any defects, putting the defects down here in the 4-foot side, and that way if we have a stake that's not going to cut the mustard, we will toss it over in the firewood pile, and we'll end up with a good 6-foot stake, which is our highest demand stake. So it only makes sense to put the flaws towards the 4-foot side. This tree was also on a fence line, and I remember from years ago that this tree had electric fence insulator on it. Don't ask me how I remember that, but I do. And checked it over close. I couldn't find any evidence of an insulator on it or anywhere where a nail had been. So I didn't check it with a metal detector. And you want to guess what happened? I hit a nail. Screwed up a good blade. All right, guys. I just cleaned up my flitches and ended up with 2 pieces of wood for the crafter's box. Came out pretty nice. And we ended up with 18 more stakes. So that wasn't too bad out of a few flitches that I threw off to the side. But nobody likes doing flitches, but it's just part of the deal. All right, I decided to take a little break before I sharpened the stakes up. Went downstairs and sharpened up a blade. And I got to replace the blade on the mill that I hit a nail with. That one, unfortunately, is done. I don't believe that's going to be salvageable. I knocked about 6 teeth off of that one. All right, guys, that's pretty much an update on what's going on with us. And I got to get busy and get these stakes sharpened up. Thanks for coming along with us. And until the next one, we will catch you later.